Hey guys, I'm Ingo Schmoltz. I'm a collector car broker, car author, and car photographer. But what I really am is an enthusiast who doesn't have a lot of cash for beautiful cars, but I know a lot of great people who do. So I want you to come along with me, and this is a new series I'm calling Riding Shotgun, because we're going to ride shotgun with some of the best people, either artisans in the business or the best cars in the business. So what am I starting with today? I'm starting with our own 1969 Alfa Romeo Spider with my lovely wife. So what do you think? Should we go for a ride? Hi honey, this is Annie, my wife.
Hi.
And we're gonna go on a fun little ride in a 1969 Alfa Romeo Spider. So it might be a little hard to do kind of an interview talk in an open top, but you know, hey, we'll just have to deal with what we can, huh? One of the things I didn't tell you about that's pretty cool about riding with my wife Annie is that not only is she beautiful, but she's actually a former SPE-KA licensed driver. She's done a lot of instructing for BMW track events in the past, so hence to say she's a lot better driver than I am. So she's the perfect person to ride shotgun with in this car. So Annie, we got this car about now just almost a year ago. What's been some of your first impressions about the car?
I grew up driving German cars. My first car was a 2002, and it's a very different feel. This is my first Italian car, and it's just nimble, and this car is powerful, but it feels light, and it's just fun, and the most important thing is it's cute as hell.
That is the most important thing. No, it's amazing with these Italian cars because there isn't actually a ton of horsepower. I think this is rated like 125 horse, 124 horse, but it's so light, right? And again, you've got thin tires.
Thin steering wheel.
Thin steering wheel. So that's the thing. The steering, when we first got it, was a little messed up, but we were able to just tighten it down. This car was actually an original owner, had it for all this time, and we picked it up, as I said, about 9 months ago. Had done a full restoration on the top side, but we needed to go through and basically go through the underside, so we had to replace the clutch. We went through the bushings and all that stuff with springs and shocks on it, but now it rides really great. And again, the skinny tires help. It gives a great feel.
Still have to do the front suspension.
Still have to do the front suspension on it. That should tighten it up. Should also drop it about an inch, which will make it really nice when we go here, especially when we're on these roads. So you mentioned the steering wheel. It's nice to have a thin, large steering wheel.
Yes. The
Nardi steering wheel.
Very Italian.
Yeah, that's not actually the original steering wheel. The original owner put that on as an update, which we love. I mean, honestly, if I got in this car, that's actually one of the few things I wanted to do right away. So it just gives it that great feel. You know, the one thing about having a large wheel and skinny tires, it's almost like having power steering, even though there isn't any, right?
Right. Yeah, right.
It's not bad in this country, huh? To over countryside to drive around.
Here's my opportunity. Yay!
Had to get around a slow Hyundai. Sorry, guys. But
my other car is a Hyundai Santa Fe.
Oh wait, we're not supposed to say that here. Okay, well, we can say that. Actually, great car, 2013, and great dog car, man. That thing is awesome. But here's what we came up to this road for. This is Del Valle Lake, and we wanted to come up this road because it's just a smooth pavement. Feels really good riding on this thing. So this car's a 69, one of about 2,200 or so that were imported into the country, into the U.S. About 5,000 total made of the 1750. This is basically the next generation after the pure Duetto, the 66 and 67, which were a 1600 engine. This is a 1750 with a SPICA MFI, mechanical fuel injection. It was developed for this country here, for the U.S., for smog, but also delivers great spark, so it would run well at altitude. It would run better all the time. The The only problem with SPICAs when they got old is not many people knew how to work them, and if you didn't have them tuned right, they would be a pain. So one of the things we did is we got lucky with this car is it had great setup, and it ran really well right after that. So Annie, you've been using the brakes a little. We had a couple of braking for some slow zone people. How are the brakes on this car compared to a modern car?
You have to plan ahead, well ahead, and you think you're stopping and you realize you're not. So I've adjusted my mindset for that.
Now this is disc brakes, because we've also driven a 50s Alfa that has drum brakes, and they're even more so, right?
Right.
So this isn't bad, but yeah, compared to today's powered brakes, you've really got to be careful with it.
Oh, I want you to turn the camera around. This road is beautiful, and they've just paved it for us.
I know. Well, we're gonna
This is gorgeous.
absolutely. We're gonna take a minute here, and we're gonna turn it around and let you just listen to the car for a minute and see how it sounds and how it feels. All right. So why don't we go do that? Here we are. I've just asked my wife to take us for a long drive on a hot day. So where better to go than, where should we go?
Have a picnic in our picnic car.
Hey, here we go at Retzlaff Wineries. Woohoo! Hey guys, so here we are again, sitting in our garage, drinking wine, as we do. No, that's not what we normally do. When you last left us, we were at Retzlaff Vineyards about to have a beautiful picnic. The good news is it was a great picnic. The bad news is, you know how I was telling you about, like, I'm a new YouTuber trying to get this stuff across to you? Well, yeah, I kind of messed up on the technical stuff. So,
A lot of wind noise.
A lot of wind. It didn't exactly work. Quite a fine. One of the benefits of helping people with their collector cars. So here we are, back again. I've coerced my wife into sitting here and doing a debrief on the session in our own garage. So thank you, Annie, for...
You plied me with alcohol.
Coming all the way over here. So one of the things that I mentioned earlier is that Annie has raced and had an SPE-KA card, and she's also taught for the BMW Club and actually driven professionally for different organizations. But what you may not know is that she's an interior designer. So with her, it's true, check it out. With her aesthetic eye, you know, I thought I'd ask her a little bit about the car and what you feel. So yeah, give us a rundown of what you think about the car.
I think it's stunning. I've always thought it was a stunning car. Seeing them on the road since I was a kid. The boat tail just makes me swoon, and I've always liked it. It reminds me of a Dino or a far more expensive Italian sports car. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. Just the line from nose to tail is flawless, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a Pininfarina masterpiece, right? You know?
Whenever you go to photograph it from the front, which is gorgeous, I always say, well, you have to get a shot from the back, and you have to get a shot from the side and from the angle, because it's truly beautiful from all sides.
We'll show you a shot from the rear 3/4. That's probably the most beautiful angle.
The money.
The money shot, yeah. So yeah, Pininfarina designed this in Italy, a masterpiece towards the end of his career. He actually died, I think, in '66, which is when this car debuted.
Oh.
Now, something you may not know about Pininfarina, we're looking at the logo here. Pininfarina was a man and a company. But if you look at early 50s Ferrari stuff, it was Pinin space Farina. It was Pinin was his nickname, which I believe is little in Italian. You guys can tell me if that's right or not. But he was Battista Farina. So the name itself only became when he started the company, or changed the name of the company to Pininfarina, put it all in one word. And so the interesting thing is on the Pininfarina logo, it's actually an F.
It is an F.
For Farina. So there you go.
I always knew it was an F. I didn't ever
put it together.
Think about it.
I mean, who would know?
Yeah.
So, anyway, this car is absolutely classic. You know, I think one of the things that's great about this particular series, the Series 1 Spider, is of course the lines and the boat tail, as Annie said, it's just amazing. But little things like it still has a metal dash, and that's a big deal. Some of the older ones, you know, they're plastic, so they'll warp with time. Sorry, newer ones, I should say, yeah. Yeah, so the metal dash is just gorgeous. It either had Veglia or Jaeger gauges. Ours has the Jaeger gauges, and they're just beautiful, just classic works of art. So, and as we said, you know, with 5-speed, you mentioned it, you get a lot of power. You can drive this quite far above legal speed limits, which she never does.
I was expecting a little old, beautiful car. I really wasn't expecting the pep that it has.
Right.
It's impressive, and it's just fun to drive.
That's probably the big difference between a 50s car and like a mid-60s to late 60s, early 70s car. A 50s car is beautiful, but you're also going pretty slow in major traffic. You know, you got to keep an eye on it. Like mid-60s to 70s, you can keep up with a lot of stuff on the freeway. So,
yeah.
But of course, back roads are where it's at.
You don't think about merging on the freeway in this. You just it goes.
No, absolutely. And you know, talk a little bit about what you feel it's like. You know, like if you've had a tough day, is it fun? Like Annie will say, "I'm going to the store. I'm taking the Alfa." Right?
Yeah.
So.
It lifts your spirits no matter what kind of day you're having. We usually start out the day in it. It's usually our day tripper. It's our picnic car.
It is our picnic car.
And it's just a pleasure. I love the honks and waves that everyone gives. The smiles when you're driving through Yountville and people are waving and smiling at you, and you get to honk at them. And it's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure standing next to it, seeing it across a parking lot, and knowing it's yours, and just driving it.
You know, and I think that brings one other point that you talked about, which I love, and fortunately you love as well, is you come down into the garage here, and you just open that door, and the smell of kind of leather and oil and gasoline.
I do love it.
Yeah, that's the stuff you don't get in a new car today, and it just and some people don't like it, but I mean that's just that's just age. It's, we're drinking an older Pinot. It's like that's the age, right?
It smells like an old Italian car.
Yeah, which is awesome. So
I don't know what a British car would smell like this era.
Well, maybe that'll be our next purchase. So we'll have to see.
May I smell your car?
I'm sure
it'll be a new series.
Smell your car. So guys, listen, thank you so much for following this first episode. As I said, riding shotgun is something that I came up with because like you, I don't have access to a ton of cars. I don't have a lot of money to spend on cars. But what we do have is a lot of great friends between the two of us, and people who are artisans in the automotive trade, who can rebuild a car, who can paint a car, who can do just amazing things. We know race car drivers. We know people with just phenomenal cars. I mean, being a collector car broker, that's one of the things that's been great, is we've been able to make these relationships. And what I wanted to do with this series is simply share that with you and give you a little experience for it. So, yeah.
Gonna be a fun ride.
Yeah, fun ride. Please give us your ideas and thoughts. Any advice you would give to us. As I say, we're pretty good photographers and we know what we're doing, but this stuff is all new. So anyway, salute.
Salute. Look at me, I'm riding shotgun.